Greetings everyone, welcome to Chess Advanced, and this game is played in 1961. And with the white pieces we have the magician Mikhail Tal, and with the black pieces we have Benko. So one of the strongest players of their time, and definitely Benko was around somewhere around his 30s, and apologies, Mikhail Tal somewhere was around his 30s, and Pal was somewhere around his 20s. So the he was quite young at this time. So, but definitely, and a lot of the times, Tal absolutely trolled him, and by going for an annoying opening here and there. So let's see what Tal does this time. So without further ado, let's start with this game. We have e4, e6, going for the French defense, d4, d5, and just knight to c3. We have knight to f6, bishop to g5, but here just d captures, and we have knight captures going for the exchange variation or burn variation, and we have knight bd7, we have knight captures, and just knight to f3. We have c5, just immediately striking in the center. We have bishop to c4, c captures, and here just castles by Tal, and here black is still preparing on castling, and also where to keep his bishop. And here just bishop to e7, just not going for anything fancy. And we have queen to e2, but just h6, pushing the bishop back. We have bishop to f4, but just castles. And here in this position, just rook a to d1, and here just bishop to d7, but now just rook captures on d4, now putting a very nice very nice pressure on that black queen. And we have queen to b6 attacking the rook, but just rook to d3. We have bishop to b5, asking Tal if you be interested in a bishop trade, and Tal obliges. He goes for bishop captures, queen captures, and here just knight to e5. Instead of this knight to e5, you could have also gone for b3, not allowing that queen to jump in. But here after queen to f5, now you play a queen to e5, just asking for a queen trade, queen captures, knight to d5, just attacking that bishop. We have bishop to d2, and here just b5, and here after c4, b captures, knight to b6, attacking the pawn. For the moment it's defended, but if the knight ever moves, you could also move it with this. And here knight to c6, but here after bishop to c5, now you just go for rook to c1, just defending that pawn. We have rook f to c8, knight to a5, f6, and you'll get a very a very annoying position where these rooks aren't doing anything much. Neither are these rooks that strong, but all in all, by here it will be 4 to 3 on the king side, and here you'll have an isolated passed c pawn. So it's going to be a little bit, just a little bit in black's favor. But then again, you have to understand that you're playing against Tal and you have to measure it accordingly. So here just after queen cap, just not going for any of that, just knight to e5, and here just go queen caps on b2, just grabbing that pawn. We have rook to g3. Now there's tremendous pressure, and this is also coming here in this position. So here just rook f to c8, but now just going for bishop caps on h6. And here, if Benko allowed it, so you just go for it. We have bishop back to f8, just going for that will serve as a very nice defender. And here just queen to e3, and Tal is slowly starting to mount all the pieces there. And here queen captures on c2, saying that you have nothing in this position. We have rook to e1, but now just rook to c7, and you have to be. And here after rook to c7, Tal just goes for a waiting move, which is this h3. But instead of this h3, he could have also gone for a draw right away. Bishop captures, rook captures, king captures. And if queen to g5 check, king moves. And here after queen to h4 check, now you go for king to g7, queen to g5. This is going to be a perpetual. So here after rook to c7, just h3 by Tal, not going for any draws right away, because he smells blood in the position. And here the best move in this position that you had to find for white to retain his advantage, that you can see that is generated by the engine, is this beautiful queen back to h7 move. And I mean, it's just impossible to find this move. With your clock ticking and all of those things, considering that, it's impossible that anyone finds this move on the board, because the idea is that here after knight to g4, just trying and going for all of this, you go for knight caps on g4, rook captures, we play b5. But here just after rook to d1, rook a c8, and after bishop to f4 attacking the rook moves. And here just few more moves later, you'll see that white's attack is not happening. He has sacrificed a lot of material for that. And now here Benko would be a complete pawn up with better position, and he would be most likely winning this match. But you have to consider that he's playing against Tal, and here it could get very much tricky. But here after h3, just rook a to c8, and now there is a chance that Tal is most likely going to sacrifice the piece, because here bishop captures, and here rook captures, king captures, queen to g5 check, king moves, and here queen caps on f6. And here in this position, you have to be very much careful. Queen to h7 was played, which is an okay move, no issues. But rook to e3, but now queen to f5. And here queen to h8 check, but here just king to e7. And here after queen to h4 check, king to f6, and here queen to b4 check. And in this position, you have to be very much careful, because there are a lot of squares that are being covered. Right, this is covered, and all of this is looking very much difficult. You feel like the only place that you can go to is rook to e8 and you'll be safe there, but you have to understand that's not the case. The only move in this position that works is rook to c5 check. You block that check, it looks annoying because this is coming, but you have to understand that you can block again with the rook, so there will be no more issues, no more checks, and your king will be safe. And but here the issue was that here in this position after queen to b4 check, here Paul Benko thought that king to e8 is absolutely fine, nothing is gonna happen, so he goes for it. But now you have to understand that now there is a chance for Tal to win this position, and whenever Tal smells blood, you better run, because if he's found a move, he's definitely, if there's like a little bit of blood in the position, I mean just a little bit of inaccuracies, he's gonna find it, he's gonna find a way to sacrifice some pieces and absolutely go for the win. Because here queen to b5 check, an absolute best move recommended by the engine. We have king to f8, but now just going for this rook to f3. Now you can see that the queen cannot move, queen has to go here, and here after rook captures you just trade, and in the end game you'll be left with two rooks against a queen. It might just be a draw. I mean, in Tal's hands it's definitely could be winning for white, but you're gonna have to still play a lot of moves. But here after queen to d8, now the same idea does not work, because in this position this queen to b4 check, and here king moves to e8, but now this beautiful maneuver with rook to g3. Now you have to understand that escape square after this check comes is this, and that is being covered by the knight. So if you move the queen to try and not get captured, so here after that there is no escape square, so this is going to be a very nasty this is this is actually going to be then checkmate, because queen covers this and knight covers this, so it's going to be very much difficult. And if you try to move away from here anywhere, you cannot save your queen. So here after rook to c5, it was on this move, that on move 33, that Paul Benko resigned the game, and Tal got this spectacular victory in just 33 moves. And here definitely he resigned because of the same reasons. This is unstoppable, although you have made some room, but it's not going to help you. So thank you all for watching. I'll be coming back with such amazing games to the past, so stay tuned to the channel and do subscribe if you like the content, and I'll be seeing you guys very soon. Thank you all.